Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Mindfulness Moment. This is a practice that we arrive, right? We come home to our bodies, we come home to our breaths, we come home to this moment, this moment. And the kind of the secret of the practice of mindfulness is to simply allow the flow, right? Allow the flow. Oftentimes we get caught up in kind of directing, right? We want to direct the flow in one direction or the other. Perhaps we have our day planned or even this moment planned, and it changes and turns into something that we didn't anticipate or we didn't expect and or we didn't plan. So what we do in this practice is we work on the idea, the experience of allowing, just as we allow the breath to come in. So if you open up, take a deep breath here, and then exhale and send that breath out, send that breath out. And then when our attention turns, right, to the way we're seated, you can sit yourself up nice and tall, you can be on the ground, or you could be seated in a chair if that's a better way for you to practice. Just placing the body in a position that can be really relaxed in a way, but the spine is nice and tall so that we can allow the flow of breath. And we'll just start right away with the flow. So go ahead and open your arms, turn your palms up to the sky, and go ahead and lift, lift, lift. Feel the energy, feel the breath coming in to your body. Exhaling and turning and twisting. We'll take the right hand to the left thigh, the left hand behind you, and here, right, experiencing the flow of your breaths. You can go and bring your attention to the base of the spine. Feel the breath there. Let your shoulders relax. Feel the breath in the middle of your back. Feel the breath as you turn and twist all the way up to the crown of the head. Your gaze can be over your left shoulder. Go ahead and coming back to the center, float the arms again up to the ceiling. Feel that flow, right, of energy there. And then turn and twist to the other side. So this time it will be the left hand pressing against your thigh, the right hand behind you. And go exploring, right, allowing the flow of your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, filling up, and exhaling, releasing, and emptying. One more time, inhaling, feel it all the way up the spine and through the back of the neck and the head, and exhale and release. Go ahead and come back to the center again, floating your arms up to the sky, and a little swirl and twirl into your arms. This is a good way to kind of get the flow, right? The opening into the shoulders. You can take your arms out to the side, bending the elbows, get kind of playful, a little dance of the arms. And then use your breath and go ahead and bring your hands together, pressing your palms one to another, and then float your hands to your heart in a prayer. And just pause here for a moment. And perhaps around this idea of allowing, maybe there's something that is challenging you in your life, that you are perhaps having a bit of challenge to allow. Maybe there's something you're holding on to, or there's a project or something that is coming up that is not exactly flowing in the way you anticipated or the way you planned. Can you simply allow? And just hold that thought for a moment. Hold that thought for a moment. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, say yes. And allowing, right? Drop your hands to your thighs. Go ahead and inhale, rise up. You can lift your chin, your chest, your collarbones are open. Take the breath in through your nose. And then as you empty it out through your mouth, kind of silently to yourself, say yes, yes, yes. Then go ahead, just like that again. Inhale, fill up. Deep breathing, collarbones are open, and exhale, yes, 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 yes. And one more time, inhaling up you go. And exhale, yes, 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 yes. Good. And then drop your chin. You can shrug your shoulders a bit. Good. And then go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. You can also do this practice standing if you don't like to be on your knees. I like to put a little padding underneath my knees. I have a blanket here. You can be on your yoga mat if you have a yoga mat. Use that to support yourself. So hands down underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and go ahead and start to flow here. Opening up, feel the energy, the in-breath as you go into that cow position, and your out-breath as you come into your cat. And again, allowing. That's our theme today, exhaling and releasing. We kind of get out of the way, right? Let the body, the breath flow quite organically, inhaling and exhaling. Now, when we work with that action of allowing, inhaling forward, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're all in on it, right? We all agree. Maybe there's something that is unpleasant that is coming up, right? Inhaling. Maybe there's a little conflict. Maybe it's a relational conflict or something that is coming up. It doesn't mean that we kind of cave and give in, but we allow the moment, the energy of the moment to just move, as opposed to holding on. Deep breathing, exhaling. And you feel that energy in your body, right? Imagine we came here and forward in that cow position. Hold your breath for a moment and hold your breath and just notice the energy when you're just holding there. And as you exhale, intentional, feel the flow on the release, and then hold your breath here for a moment. Inhaling, coming forward. And then again, just come into a natural, rhythmic, yogic breath, the in-breath and the out-breath through your nose. You can flow here, get playful, move into any parts of your body, right? I'm bending one elbow and kind of pulling the hip, the opposite hip back. That's a good way to kind of get into the shoulders and the hips in this position. So opening up. Feel your breath also gives you a lovely stretch into your back body. So try it. Bend one elbow, pull the opposite hip back, come back up, bend the opposite elbow, place it down on the ground. It's like a half Sphinx pose, and then pull the other hip back. So the whole side body begins to open, the back body. Go ahead now, come back up on all fours. You're on your hands and knees, and we'll twist here. Left arm goes way up to the sky. Lift it way up. And let's take that left arm forward for a moment. Turn your palm out so your thumb is facing forward. The palm is out. And then move the arm forward. Drop the tip of your thumb down onto the ground. And then lift that arm back up. Reach it all the way up. You can tuck your toes under and then pull that arm back towards your left hip. Do this again. Arm goes all the way to the top. Your gaze can lift and follow. The arm goes forward. The thumb drops. That arm is extending really long. Come back up to the center and then take it in the opposite direction. Good. Next time it comes to the center, keep it there. We're going to roll into a twist. So flow that left arm underneath your right. You can drop your left ear down to the ground and be here now in a twist. Walking your right arm forward and then pulling your right hip back a bit and flow with your breath. Allow the breath to move into the shoulders, to the hips. Really kind of go in, investigate the body. This is a bit of an awkward shape. So we're turning, we're twisting. See if you can relax the left side, the left ear, and the left side of the neck, the left shoulder. And a few more deep breaths. Go ahead and bring your right hand back so it's underneath your shoulder. Bring your left hand and place it back underneath your shoulder and flow into cat and cow, rounding, coming forward. Collarbones are open. Let the breath guide you. Allow the energy to flow into the body. Deep breathing in and deep breathing out. Let's do that work again with the elbows and the hips. Drop the left elbow down, pull that right hip back, and then draw that right elbow back up. Drop the left elbow, just moving, pull the opposite hip. a few times like that. The elbow as it tracks, see if you can track it underneath your shoulder. Don't let it wing out to the side. Track it underneath the shoulder. Gives a good stretch there. Coming back up one more time on the opposite side and come back up. Tuck your toes under, float the right arm up, up, up to the sky. Float, float, float. A big stretch through the top of the chest. Your gaze can follow your hand. So that right arm reaches way forward. Remember, the thumb is facing forward. The palm is out. Drop the hand down. The thumb tips touch. Reach your arm back up to the sky. Take it behind you towards that right hip. You can push back into your tucked toes there. You get a nice foot stretch. Reach your arm up. Let's go forward again. Feel the breath. Let the gaze follow. Take that right arm up to the sky and then back towards that right hip. This time as it floats all the way up, keep it there for a moment, a big stretch through the top of the chest, and then we're going to weave that right arm underneath the left arm. Let the right ear drop down onto the ground and enjoy this twist. Left hand can go forward, pull the left hip back, the left arm stretched and reaching. And breathe here now. Allowing the stretch, move into the back, into the shoulder. Can you relax your right ear and your right jaw? Deep breath in. Deep, deep breath out. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Take your time. You're going to drag that left hand back underneath your shoulder, that right hand underneath your shoulder, and a little bit more cat and cow here. Loving this posture, right? These postures flow. Allow the flow, right? Allow the flow. Good. You can walk your hands back if you're on the ground here. Use your breath. You can tuck your toes and then straighten your legs. You can use your breath here. If you had a prop underneath, you had a blanket or something, you just move it up to the side. And here we are in a standing forward bend. Hear the flow, right? Experience the flow through the back of your legs. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot. And then drop that right heel down and then change sides. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot. You're still in a forward bend here. Do this a few times, right? Right heel lifts. Drop it down. Left heel lifts. Drop it down. Use your breath. Keep both heels on the ground and take your time. You allow the breath to move through your body as you slowly and mindfully roll yourself all the way up. Beautiful. Landing here in Tadasana. Turning the palms out. Check into your alignment here, your stance. The feet want to be straight across so your toes are aligned with one another. Rooting down very clearly into the ground. Take your arms out to the side and we'll just do a few sun breaths here. Inhale, lift your gaze as you lift the arms and gaze up to the sky. Exhale, sweep the arms way out to the side and flow forward into the bend, right? Releasing. Inhale, come up halfway. Hands can be here on your shins. And let's spend an extra breath here to play with straightening the back of your legs. You can maybe push the weight forward a bit on your heels. So I have to come up in order to do that. I have to bring my hands up a little higher if I'm really working the back of the legs and the spine, opening up. Exhale, release it right back down. Press into the ground, arms out to the side as you rise back up. Gaze will lift. Go ahead and bring your hands together in a prayer and bring the prayer right through the midline. You can be really intentional about this, allowing the energy, the flow. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up, arms out to the side. So opportunity for allowing the body to really open here. You can even take a little back bend on the way up there. Exhale, flow forward, arms to the side. Legs, work the legs. I like to start with my knees bent to begin. And then as I come up in that half, that Ardha Uttasana, that half forward bend, you can really work to straighten the back of the legs, open up through the chest. Spending some time feels good for the lower back as well. And exhale and release. Let your head drop down, press into the ground. Legs are energized, your core is energized, allowing that energy, arms out to the side. And your hands meet at the top in a prayer. Hands will come here to your heart. Let's do one more just like that. Allowing the energy, right? The flow. Lift your gaze, right? Sometimes that's what we need to do. We spend a lot of time with our head and our shoulders forward and down. And then we spend our work days. Use your breath. Inhale up halfway. Again, be interested and curious. Allow the hamstrings to open. Invite them to open. Exhale, release it right back down. Use your breath and rise back up. Deep breath as you come up all the way to the sky. Palms meet, and exhale your hands here to your heart. Nice. Take a moment here. You can kind of shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's go wide now. So we're going to face forward and go wide. If you're on a yoga mat, you want to turn to the side, please feel free to do that. Making sure that as I'm taking this wide-legged stance, that my toes are tracking in a bit, right? So I'm not turned out here. The toes are tracking in a bit. Have this nice energy coming up through the pelvis. Float the arms out to the side. Your palms can be down. Your arms are reaching wide and full. Nice full breath. So get really nice and wide here. Turn the palms. So now the thumbs are facing up. So you have this nice openness here. Lift up onto the balls of your feet. And then sink down onto your heels. And then maybe the balls lift. And then again onto the toes. And then sink down into your heels. Stay here. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot and turn that foot out. So we're preparing here for a warrior two pose. Arms are nice and wide. Start to bend that left leg. I'm having to walk the leg out. So as I bend, my knee is feels like it could track forward of my heel. And I want to stack the knee on top of the heel. The arms are nice and wide. You can send your gaze over that left hand, breathing deep. And then let's flow here a bit. As you inhale, straighten the left leg, bring the hands all the way to the top to a prayer. And then exhale, come back down, your arms right in line with your shoulders. Let's flow like that. Inhaling, rising up. Straight left leg. Exhale, go down. Good for the hips and your core. Inhaling up, up, up. Let's stay here, right? Reach your arms again alongside, right in line with your shoulders. Turn your palms up. We're going to come into a Trikanasana. Keep both legs straight. And then just hinge over here at the waist on the left side. Let the left hand come down to touch the left shin. Right arms up to the sky, and then turn your gaze. Breathing in. So we actually prepared for this, and opening through the chest. You feel that energy. Deeply breathing. Allow, really allow. Maybe you drop a little deeper into that pose, letting your hands slide down your ankle. Maybe it's better to stay lifted. Maybe come up a little bit. Soften your toes. You can wiggle your toes here. Use your core energy and then lift yourself back up. Arms are alongside your shoulders. Drop your hands to your hips. Let's turn that left foot in. Take a deep breath here. Shrug your shoulders up and back. We'll take a forward bend here. Slip the hands back behind you. You can loosely interlace your hands, very loosely, kind of grabbing the hands, or you can put your hands back on your back body if that feels a bit more comfortable. Interlace your hands, a little bend in your knees, and down you go. Feel the flow. Keep your chin lifted on the way down there. Keep your chin lifted. And then when you get down to the bottom, your arms will lift to the sky. Your chin tucks to your chest. And deep breathing here. You can shake your head, yes. Shake the head, no. Feel, allow the energy. We're inverting here. We're upside down. Again, we spend much of our day in an upright position. This kind of incline, this recline down to the ground. You can let your arms dangle down and drop to the ground. Go side to side a bit if that feels good. Bending one knee and straightening the other. Feeling your breath here. Opening that back body. Go ahead and slowly crawl your hands up onto your thighs. Come up just halfway with the torso. Look forward. There's a flow. Allow that energy. Elbows come alongside your body and then gently rise back up. Shrug your shoulders. Let's take that warrior position on the other side. So lift up onto the ball of the right foot. I'm going to turn that right foot out. So moving my props out of the way here. So torso is nice and strong. Arms float right out in line with your shoulders. Take your gaze over that right hand. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot and drop that foot down. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot and drop that foot down. Let's try that again. Left foot, drop it. Right foot, drop it. This time we're going to bend that right knee. Remembering that we like to have that knee tracking right over the heel. So if you have to take your stance a little bit wider, or maybe you have to bring it back, do so. Turn your palms up to the sky. A deep breath will flow a bit. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Your palms touch in a prayer. Exhale, go back down. Allow the breath flow. Inhale. Exhale. Big breaths in the body. Beautiful. Inhaling. Stay up here. We're going to keep both legs straight. We're going to open the arms in line with our shoulders. Turn your palms up. Keep that right leg straight. We're going to come into a Trikanasana Triangle shape. That right hand sliding down the front shin, that left arm up to the sky. You could look up if that feels appropriate and comfortable. Open up and feel the energy. And I'm allowing, I love this shape, right? You feel the balance, the openness of this form, allowing the energy flow. You can send your gaze down, use your core energy, lift yourself back up. Arms are alongside you. Go ahead and turn that right foot back in. Shrug your shoulders. Deep breath. Hands back behind you, interlace. You can switch the interlacings if you had that hand position, or just put the hands on the lower back. Give yourself some love on the way down here. Taking a forward bend, bend your knees, let your hips open, head relaxed. And then once you get down there, you can gently drop your arms down to the ground. Deep breathing, side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Again, these forms are very intentional, inviting flow, allowing our body to work in a place of ease, right? Go ahead and heel toe your feet in, heel toe your feet in. You can stay in the forward bend if that works for you. Feet come underneath you, and then you go ahead and slowly you can lower down to the ground. I bent my knees, I came down to the balls of my feet, and down to the ground we go. Transition in a way that works and is comfortable and safe for you. And then take a seat. Again, maybe the seat is here in your chair or at your desk, or your seat could be on the ground. I like to kind of lift my hips up a little bit. I always put a blanket under a pillow that I have there. And then go ahead and sit in very upright. Take a moment. I like the cross-legged position. And I do, as a regular meditator, I do try to switch the crossing of the legs. So I'm very habitual. I typically come in with, in my case, it's my right leg crossing in front. So trying to change it up if you also, right, come to this seat regularly, maybe make it a little bit different today. Kind of allow that. Walk the hands back behind you, draw your shoulder blades together. And before we move into the meditation, the silence of meditation, the seat of meditation, we'll do a little breath here. So we're going to do a breath of joy. So as you exhale, your chin drops down. The exhalation is through your mouth. Keep your chest open. As you inhale, big breath here. Feel the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Again, this is kind of the opposite of how we spend our day. That in-breath goes through the nose. The out-breath is through the mouth. Empty, empty, empty. Inhaling, rising up. Deep breath, your hands supporting you, but get strong in your core. I kind of I lifted myself up a little bit taller. Exhale and release and release. A few more like this. Inhaling up you go. Allow the breath to flow in, nourishing you, restoring you. Exhale, release and release and release. Keep your chin down. Bring your hands here to the front of your thighs. Turn your palms down for a moment. And consider the balance here in the head and the neck. You want to have the spine nice and tall, as if someone's gently tugging a string at the top of the crown, kind of lifting you up and out. Your chin will very subtly drop, and then you can begin to soften your gaze. Your eyes can be closed or really softly, kind of gently open there. Your focus is very soft. And then once you've situated the head, go ahead and turn your palms up and bring the tips of the thumb and the index finger to touch. So Gaya Mudra, an invitation for us to allow this stillness, to allow this moment just as it is. So first, a gentle scan of your body. We did a little movement. You might feel kind of sensations in the body, maybe in your hips or your shoulders. And begin to bring the focus to the breath coming in and the breath flowing right back out. And keep your focus there on the breath. So again, back to this idea of allowing. Even in our meditation practice, we allow this moment to be just as it is, right? And notice the invitation to shift and change it. Notice the mind stuff coming in, maybe the thoughts are coming in. So this allowing takes a great focus and takes actually practice to just allow things to be just as they are. And we get to come into the awareness of our thoughts as we sit still, as we sit silent. And then notice those thoughts. And yes, we do allow them to come and then allow them to go. Try not to hang on or direct them in any way. So notice what comes up. Allow that flow. If a thought comes, just let it go. Let it flow through. We do that practice again and again and again. We have this wonderful tool to keep us grounded, this beautiful body in this very, very specific posture with our spine upright, with the tip of our fingers touching, with the heart open. We have this amazing, beautiful tool of our breath, right? The life force to keep us here, allowing the moment, allowing the moment. And experience your breath coming in and experience the release of your breath going right back out. Bring your awareness to your breath, allowing each beautiful breath to flow through the body. And as you release, sending it out into the world. Start to deepen your breath now. So be intentional there. You feel how the belly expands, your ribs, your heart opening to your breath. As you exhale, go ahead and drop your chin to your chest. You can open the palm of your hands. You can wiggle your fingers and then go ahead and bring your hands together in a prayer. Keep your chin down for a moment and just here, come back to that place of allowing. As you began your practice this day, is there something that you're kind of challenged with, right? To allow the energy to flow. Just let it move through. Go ahead and hold that for a moment. And with a deep breath, go ahead and send that energy out into the world, send that idea, that concern out into the world. We do this practice for the benefit of all beings. Keep pressing your hands together, reach your arms to the sky, get really tall and light filled. And as you exhale, go slow. You can bring your hands right through the midline, over your nose, your mouth, and right here to heart center. Another full and expressive breath. Fill up. Allow it to come in. Maybe there's a little smile on your face here. And as you empty, go ahead and let it all go. Drop your chin to your chest. Namaste to you all. Thank you so much. My name is Evalena, and it's such a great privilege and honor to guide you through this mindfulness moment practice. Perhaps as you move through the rest of your week, you play with that idea of allowing, right? Allowing the movement, allowing the flow to move through. Thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful afternoon. Stay safe and namaste to you.